All right, I didn't film myself making this lunch, but this is my first attempt at making a diabetic lunch. I haven't talked to the dietitian yet, so I don't have the correct info. I did talk to my wife, who has some background in this stuff. And originally I had carrots in my salad here, but she said carrots I should try to avoid. I mean, having a little bit should be okay, but I decided to go ahead and skip it since I can control it. I haven't started eating it yet. But basically what I did was I made a sandwich using the Nature's Own honey wheat bread. And I have, basically on the sandwich, I have lettuce. And the bad thing will probably be the, what's that white stuff is, mayo. The mayonnaise might be the bad stuff. But I took the chicken from, the rotisserie chicken from Walmart, and I cut it into a little slice. And, you know, I just made a thin slice of chicken, the breast meat. And I put some tomatoes in there. And some lettuce. So that's gonna be my sandwich. I normally, like for lunch, what happens is like for lunch, normally I get home and I cook like a big huge thing of rice and I eat it with like some kind of meat dish, usually pork chops or ribs or something. But I'm trying to cut down on that. So when I do have pork, I'm gonna try to cut down the amount. But so this will be it, just a sandwich. I think cutting it into two will make it seem like I'm eating more. Even though when I look at the sandwich, I'm like, that's not going to fill me up. So then I decided to make some salad, fresh salad, using the lettuce. Because remember I tell you the lettuce normally goes bad on me. But now I'm hoping that I can eat the lettuce within 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. So I got some lettuce here. I also have some mushrooms, fresh mushrooms that I sliced, cucumber, and the onions. I'm not sure if onion is like a good food for diabetes because it may have sugar in it, because onion can taste kind of sweet. I have these little tomatoes. I guess they're called grape tomatoes, Florida grape tomatoes. They're like the size of grapes and they look almost like grapes, but they're actually tomatoes. And I also have some green beans. And I actually took the tomatoes that I bought here. I'm going to try to grow these. So I'm taking food that I actually bought from Walmart, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to grow this, but I'm going to try to grow this, and also the string beans. The bread I got is Nature's Own. It says it's wheat bread. It says Nature's Own honey wheat, so it's not like pure wheat bread. So we'll see. The thing is, I don't want to be too strict on what I eat, because then I mean, I understand from the perspective of trying to get your numbers down, but I think my biggest thing was getting off the soda. And if I start exercising, I think if I can lose about 20, 30 pounds, I should stabilize. The problem is, like, say once you have diabetes, you're pretty much, got diabetes for life. But you could potentially put it into remission. But then you have to kind of keep your eye on what you eat. So I'm trying to adjust my eating to something that I think I can handle. But also, I don't want to give up my Chinese buffet or the white rice. I don't want to give up traveling to Thailand and eating the street foods. So it's going to be very important for me to try to get myself back down to, maybe 20, 30 pounds lighter than I am right now, maybe even lighter than that. And then being able to eat what I want, but then continually having to test myself every so often to see what the blood level looks like. So right now, this is what we've got. I do have the Makoto's ginger dressing, which is kind of bad because the dressing itself says it has onion and soybean oil, soy sauce, water, wheat, soybeans, and sodium benzoate. But then it has flavored vinegar, which is white distilled vinegar, filtered water, and natural flavorings, celery and carrots, ginger, sugar, which is bad, tomato paste, and white pepper and hot sauce. There's a hot sauce that they put in, which has red jalapeno peppers, water, sugar, salt, garlic, distilled vinegar, xanthan gum, pepper sauce, distilled vinegar, and red peppers and salt. The name's Soy and Wheat. What's interesting about Makoto? Maybe I won't tell you because there's kind of maybe a potential trade secret. Those of you who have been with me from the beginning, I worked at Makoto's, the factory where they make this stuff. So I would just tell you this. The Makoto's dressing is made in the factory, but they actually use like where it says the the hot sauce, they actually use another brand's hot sauce in their ingredient. They don't list the brand, but they list the ingredients where it says hot sauce here. The ingredients actually come off. Why is this not focusing? There it goes. This says hot sauce, and it has red jalapeno pepper, water, sugar, salt, garlic, etc. It actually comes right off the label off the other item that they use. So, and if you watch my previous episode, you know, they had a defective situation with the lid not tightening. So make sure when you shake the stuff up, you hold the lid down and shake it up really well. And then it may not be the, I'll talk to the, yeah, they have the thing on here that's supposed to keep it from flying, and it wasn't working correctly before. But this one seems to be nice and sealed. There's a machine that does that. Anyhow, we're going to pour this on here. And this is going to be my lunch at home when I get off work. I may, you know, change it up a little bit and have some other items. But for the most part, I'm trying to cut out on the rice. I know the bread is bad, but I only took, like, you know, I'll talk to the dietitian and see what she says about having, like, 2 slices of bread every day, if that's an issue or not. I do have my robot running. If you wanted to see this, I may make this program available. I don't know if you can see my character there is actually playing by itself. She's leveling just by grinding. So she's just fighting all by herself. See that? And her pet. See how she just sits there now? She's healing the pet. So it's a little robot that I wrote that kind of lets me play while I eat. I can, like, pretty much eat and just keep my eye on the game and then play if I need to. If the GM comes on and says, "Are you running a robot?" I just say, "No, not really." I'm here playing. It's the real human here on the other end playing. They don't allow you to have a robot just running by itself. So typically I'll run the robot when I'm actually here. Somebody says, "Lay off the carb, please, especially the bread." Yeah, bread I normally wouldn't have, but it's kind of filling. And I'm just going to have it now a little bit. I'm just not going to have as much. I normally don't eat bread. I'm substituting the bread for the rice. So we'll see what happens. If the, you know, I meet up or talk to the dietitian next week, and I guess she'll give me a formal announcement to avoid bread or whatever. But if I can have a little bit of bread, I'll have a little bit of bread because I'm cutting back on a huge amount of rice. Normally, when I eat, like, see this whole big, huge, this is a big plate. I normally fill it up, the mound here of white rice. That's how much rice I eat. And then I have, like, a piece of meat or something to go with it. So this is a drastic change for me. We're going to try this and see how it goes. If the dietitian says I should avoid all this bread, which I know it's bad, and I probably will not have, maybe I won't have a sandwich every day. You know, maybe, like, another time I may have the stir fry or something. But then it'll be with rice. And if I have to avoid all that, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I need noodles or rice or something. I need something to fill me up. But that's basically it. Hey, Uncle Nene, good to see you on here. And what else? That's pretty much it. I just want to let you guys know what I'm going to eat for the first day. Swati Cup, is it Young Youth Pasukayud? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Young Youth Pasukayud. I guess are you from Thailand? Swati Cup. And thank you for joining. Yeah, a new member. Now, I'm probably going to go ahead and try to do the drawing today. You know, I keep saying I'm going to have the drawing to give away the space patch. The actual real space patch. So I'll probably try to do that today, maybe tonight, you know, when I come back from my walk. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my meal here, watch my character play, and then I'm going to the beach. Desiree says, I can choose better quality bread with lower carbs and higher fiber protein. Could. And I might have to start looking into that if that becomes an issue. My main thing right now is, until I consult with the dietitian and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and switch mostly to this kind of stuff, but I probably won't be eating too much bread. Bread is normally not what I normally eat anyways. I'm not really a bread eater, you know. But I decided to swap the bread for the rice, and we'll see what she says. Maybe the rice is better than the bread. You know, the main thing is I already know if I don't eat as much rice, I should not be producing as much sugar in my blood, as much glucose. I have so much rice I normally eat. So substituting this, hopefully the bread would kind of fill me up, but I know that eating bread all the time is bad, so I decided to try that just so that I can make a sandwich. Otherwise it's going to be like a wrap or something. I might have to start doing wraps. I hate wraps. Trying to do this, I'm trying to do it in such a way that it's kind of like on my own terms in a way. I know a lot of times people come up with all these diets and they're really strict on what you got to eat and stuff, but then life kind of sucks. I'm like, it's like, I don't want to give up my white rice, even though people say you should go switch to brown rice. What if I just cut the amount of rice that I eat? And what if I start eating more? I had carrots in here, and then I was talking to my wife, and she says carrots are bad. I mean, she said a little bit here in my salad should be okay, but since I hadn't started eating that salad or mixed it yet, I went ahead and dumped the carrots that I had in there. I had chunks of carrots. But if I started eating more of this might help with making my stomach full, so that I'm not going to be constantly hungry. And MoBang says brown rice keeps you filled a long time because brown rice takes a longer time to process than white rice. I think the longer the food stays in your stomach, the more full you feel because it takes a long time to process. Bread, to me, doesn't seem like it lasts very long. The other thing I'm going to try to do to help myself feel more full is drink a lot more water. Water just goes straight through your system, and it will rinse out all this bad stuff. So that's the theory, at least, as long as your kidneys and liver and everything else is working, So my plan is going to be drink lots of water so that my stomach is constantly full of water, so I'm not hungry. Because without rice in there to fill me up, I get the feeling I'm gonna be walking around hungry. So that's what the plan will be. I will keep you guys updated. If you want to see what I do, when I go on my walk and stuff, I'll film that and upload it. And I'll try to keep like a video log or vlog if you want to see like day by day. We're on day 2. Day 1 was diagnosis and me trying to formulate a plan. Day 2 is me buying a bunch of veggies and green stuff to eat and trying to plan out my dishes. I think what I'm going to have to do to keep myself consistent is actually make a chart. You know how they do like school cafeteria or in the military? They actually plan out your meals per week, per year or whatever. So I might do a rotation of foods. That way I don't feel like I make the same stuff every single day. So I might do rotations of different foods that I can make and eat. And I might even try to do stuff that's different. So you're going to see different stuff from me. Instead of just rice and pork all the time, I might try to make some soups and things like that. Because soups will have lots of fluid, liquid. And that might be kind of filling, even though, it'll come out real fast. But still, while you're eating it, you'll get that full feeling. So my idea is to try to have food that'll make me filled, fulfilling. I'll feel full. But at the same time, reduce the stuff. Lucas says I'm doing good. Yeah, see, Lucas says you're doing good. Don't follow so many rules. That will kill you quicker. The key, I think, is going to be trying not to stress out and saying, oh, I ate too much. You know how those people go on diets and they measure everything and then they freak out if they missed a meal or if they did something, they ate a little bit more. I don't want to be like that. So I'm hoping that, the dietitian will say what I'm doing is okay. The main thing I'm going to do is I need to monitor my blood level, my sugar blood level. And if it looks like it's going down, then we're on the right track. I just got to get it down fast. My goal is 3 months. So if this meal works, we don't know yet because, I'm just making it up as we go along. But if this works, this can kind of be a guideline as what you could do if you wanted to still eat halfway decent food. I mean, not halfway decent, but normal type food. My hope is that once it stabilizes, I can go to the Chinese buffets again. Although I was talking to my wife and she says, Denoy, you always eat sugary stuff. Even the pork and everything you order from there is full of sugar. So that's something I may have to watch. And then the first time I go out to eat like at that kind of stuff, I'm probably going to take the blood reading to see what it looks like. MoBang says, there is a Vietnamese saying, good for the mouth, bad for the body. And Lucas says he's certain that the rice you eat does not matter. Asians have lived off rice for literally thousands of years. And, people say white rice is bad and all that. But I'm like, most Asians don't have issues with diabetes. or even high blood pressure, I don't think. I'm not sure. Because there's a lot of salt in the fish sauce. Lucas says he eats eggs, sardines, dark chocolate, veggies, meat, chicken, nuts, and chips sometimes. I have potato chips. Now this is, I'm going to run this by you guys and see what you say, even though my wife says that, she says that if I eat potato chips, I had told her I was going to make banana chips. I had bought some banana that I was planning on cutting into slices and drying out. She says don't do that because the bananas are full of sugar. It's actually going to raise my sugar level. So I want to consult with you guys and also with the dietitian and see what she says before I try to do the bananas. I think a little bit shouldn't hurt me. And I was planning on doing it without adding sugar to it or salt or anything. But she says eating potato chips is better. And I'm like, I thought potatoes are bad and having all the salt on it would be bad. But my wife says that eating salty food is actually better for me, with the diabetes. So I'm gonna talk to the dietitian and see what they say. But also just I would run this by you guys to see what you say. But she says I should be able to eat these potato chips. That's according to my wife. I was gonna hold off on these and maybe even toss them, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll go ahead and munch on them. Well, Bank says there's an app that shows good meals for diabetic, and they have charts and stuff on the internet. All you have to do is Google this, but then see, I want to kind of have a rough idea of what's good and what's bad, but then I don't want to just say I can only eat good stuff. I want to be able to eat chocolate when I want. I want to be able to eat red meat when I want. But maybe I reduce the amount, because I know the main thing is if I monitor my blood level, my blood sugar level, I should be able to gauge. My first thing is to try to get my weight under control. According to that chart, I'm obese. I don't think I'm obese. Look at me. I'm not fat. But it says I'm obese. I'm at 31 instead of 30, BMI. So I think they say for a man healthy, they say it's like 7 to 15, 7 to 10 as a man is what I think the ideal BMI is for men. I think it's 7 to 10, and women is like 10 to 15, So me being 30 is kind of over. And I think if I can lose 30 pounds, 30 pounds, I should be at the correct BMI. I'm just looking here. So, yeah, bananas are bad. So from what I hear, bananas are bad because they're sugary. Your body will convert the stuff to sugar, and then you have all the sugar in your blood. But I was like, well, if I make my own chips and I only eat a couple chips, when I need a little pick me up, it maybe won't be that bad. I asked the dietitian. But also, like I was planning on chewing on carrots, as a snack. But she says carrots are bad because the carrots will easily convert into sugar in your bloodstream. So I'll ask the dietitian about that too. Because my wife is in healthcare, so she kind of knows some of this stuff because she takes care of old people, people that may be diabetic, maybe have all these issues. So she has to kind of monitor them and take care of them and feed them. And MoBang says nuts are your best friends. So I had peanuts, but see the problem with nuts in America, if you buy the cheap ones, they're like salted, like all these nuts and stuff. But peanuts aren't even really nuts. But I think these might be good. These beans, I think it was called legumes, legumes. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to grow these because one, they're cool and they're crunchy, and two, if they can grow, what I'm trying to do is buy food from Walmart or Thrifty or whatever that I might actually be able to grow inside or outside the RV. So I'll show you guys my garden made from food that I bought that I'm basically regrowing. It's kind of to save money, but also an experiment to see if I can grow the food from the grocery. You're buying the food that you eat from the grocery, and you're going to try to grow a clone of it, a copy. I'm going to let you guys go. Just want to let you know, see, the robot's been playing all this time. This is how I level. So I don't even play the game. Isn't it pretty sad that I play a game by letting the computer play for me? But if you guys are interested, I will make the robot available for you. It is buggy. The robot is nearly 20 years old. This robot was written like almost 20 years ago. So maybe more like 15. I don't know. I'll have to check the year. But it's got a bug in it, but you can reprogram the macros and stuff to make it so, you know, the key bindings so that it counters the bug. But you can see that the robot does pretty good. See, it just feigned death. It pretended to die. That was to throw off aggro. So, and it heals the pet to keep the pet, you know, the aggro on the pet so that it can shoot. And she's going to get up and get ready to aim again. And she's just looking for a monster to come over to get in the path. And so it's not too smart a robot, but that shows you this game, WoW, is really stupid. World of Warcraft. You can level your character up and even get really high rank without even playing. If you know, you just stay online long enough. In this case, the robot is just sitting there. This is a robot that doesn't even assess the situation. It's called you know, for me, it's like a dumb robot. It's blind. It doesn't even know what it's doing. See how she just feigned death right there to throw off aggro? So she's following an algorithm that I wrote, which is not really an algorithm. This is basically a bunch of key presses. But I'll share you with that later because I'm getting into software development. So those of you who are interested in it, you can see how a programmer works. How you develop something and how you come up with ideas and how you implement it. And maybe you'll even be able to see my new games that I'll be working on and maybe even be inside the games. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Stay safe. I do appreciate all your tips. I am taking them into account until, you know, I talk to the dietitian. And even then, I'll still keep your thoughts in mind on what's good, what's bad, and your own experiences with the food you eat. So take care, everyone. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.